Intro. When rain remembers. The night smelled of wet dust and diesel. Radio high life crackled through open windows. Somewhere a generator coughed. Somewhere else a heart did too. In cities like Lagos, love and power often shake hands before they stab each other in the back. This is a true feeling told like a film. About a woman who ran, a mother who hid, a child who chose, and a man who learned what protection really costs. 1978. The Staircase and the Storm. Lagos Island. July 1978, private marina district. Rain striking marble like thrown rice. Sarah Ocon held a brown envelope to her chest. Edges damp, resolve drier than her throat. Inside the waterfront mansion, chandeliers fluttered like gold fish. At the landing stood Madame Choi, steel and silk, a Korean magnate who had stitched shipping lanes to West African ports and wrapped them in her surname. Miss Sarah, you've come a long way to embarrass yourself, she said, voice smooth as lacquer. I came to see Leon, Sarah answered, breath unsteady but eyes clear. He deserves to know. The pearls at Madame Choi's throat lay like cold moons. My son needs legacy, not love. Her glance dropped to the envelope. Truth or leverage? It's responsibility, Sarah whispered. I'm pregnant, silence. Then a small, satisfied smile. Then we must act fast. She glided to a side salon where the sea hissed against pylons. No tea was offered. You will leave Lagos tonight, Madam said. We will arrange cash, ticket, and the dignity of disappearance. Choice is for equals, Miss Ocon, and you are not his equal. Lightning stitched the lagoon. Sarah felt the threat before she understood its grammar. He'll look for me. He won't find you, a beat. Unless I decide he should. Sarah's fingers tore the envelope a little. She thought of Leon's laugh on Freedom Way, of nights when generator hum covered their plans. She thought of a child who had not yet seen the sky and already needed shelter. Rain clattered. She ran. On the marina step, she answered Leon's ringing name with the only lie she would tell him. Decline. Then she vanished into the storm. Across town at a quiet table set for two, a candle burned down to a bruise. Leon waited until the flame gave up. 86. The return and the word, Daddy Lagos, Victoria Island. 8 years later, all-room chandeliers throwing salt onto the night. Tonight we celebrate a union of families, the MC declared. Applause slid over marble, on Minho Adeyemi's arm. Sarah smiled in the way survivors do, politely, from far away. She'd built a small catering brand from nothing, kept books with care, kept secrets with more. She'd chosen Minho for Tara, a decent name, safe money, clean edges. Maybe that was love enough. The doors opened. Black suit. Quiet thunder. Leons walked in. He had the calm of men who can end storms by standing inside them. His eyes found Sarah like a homing signal he had sworn he didn't believe in anymore. I came for a meeting, he said to the room without raising his voice. I didn't expect an engagement. Time thinned, then a smaller voice cut it. Daddy. Heads turned. Tara. 8. Ribbon crooked and courage straight, ran from her minder and hugged Leon's hand like it owed her history. Leon froze. I'm not, he saw her eyes and lost the rest of the sentence, gasps, phones lifted. Power shifted, Minho's jaw hardened. Sarah, explain. She's my daughter, Sarah said, truth choosing her throat at last. The room inhaled and did not exhale. Tara sobbed into her mother's dress. Mommy, don't marry him. Diddy is here. Madness bloomed, of whispers, of footage, of the kind of attention that ruins lives and cements rumors. Minho stormed out. The doors slammed like verdicts. Leon did not move. He looked at Tara's face, then at Sarah's. Somewhere behind his eyes, a ledger opened and began to add 8 years. We're not done, he said. Midnight evictions. Black cars in a safer cage same night. Third mainland breeze tastes of rust. Corridor lights flicker like bad promises. Two men in suits stood at Sarah's flat. "Madam, you no longer have access. Instruction from Mr. Adeyemi. Hotel calls, all fully booked. The kind of full money buys when it wants to be empty." Headlights painted the block. A Maybach rolled in like a whisper with teeth. "Get in," Leon said, stepping out into rain. "Minho blocked the city for you." "Mind your business," Sarah managed, pride a thin blanket in a storm. "Not after 8 years," he replied. "Come with me. I won't let him touch you, or your child." "Please, Mommy," Tara said, small hand finding the big one that had once made her. Sarah looked at the street that used to remember her feet. She looked at the man who had turned into a rumor called Syndicate. She nodded once. Inercio, Leon's mansion. Safety felt like a glass box, clear, costly, breakable. Guards moved like punctuation marks. Every doorway ended in a full stop. "My mother?" Sarah asked the air that smelled of cedar and consequence. "Dead." 4 years, Leon said, and something complicated shifted between grief and relief. "Why did you run?" His voice was low iron. "Why does she have my face?" "Minho just threatened us," Sarah answered, tears heat-shocked to the surface. "I can't do all truths in one night." Leon saw the tremor under her spine. Against 100 new instincts, he pulled her into an old habit. She cried there, and 8 years shortened by half a heartbeat. Tara explored with the joy of children who think palaces are playgrounds. "Teach me maps," she told Leon. "And pancake flipping," she demanded at dawn. He tried, military precision, domestic failure. She laughed. Sarah did too, her hand flying to her mouth as if joy were contraband. For a week, hope rehearsed itself in little scenes, bedtime stories, self-defense drills, a child asleep across 2 laps. Warmth thawed the edges of a colder life. Then a message arrived on Leon's phone. "Tonight." The siege rain rehearses a drum solo on bulletproof glass. Power flickers. Men take their marks. "They're coming," Leon said, forgetting to soften the truth. Tara straightened like a soldier. Sarah held like a mother. Headlights slid along the gate. Masks, boots, the signature clumsiness of rich men who hire desperate boys. Inside, the cameras bloomed to life. Outside, the guards became geometry. Gunfire is ugly everywhere. In a mansion, it sounds like blasphemy. Glass sighed. Alarms learned their own voices. Leon moved the way he had learned to survive. Precise, economical, devastating. Sarah flinched at what love had become. She also recognized protection when it bled for her. Hours later, the air tasted of cordite and rain. The attackers bled away into night. Tara slept at last, dreaming of pancakes that always flipped. Leon placed a file on the table. "I need to know." Sarah stared at the manila like it might bark. He opened it. Denis does not stutter. He exhaled a sound with no name. "She's mine," Sarah nodded. The word hours wise walked into the room and took a chair. The back gate came apart like cheap grammar. Minhos entered with fury and a pistol, and the certainty of men who confuse possession with love. "You think you can steal her from me?" He shouted at Leon. "You can't steal what isn't yours," Sarah said, standing with the posture of the first day she hid. Gunfire wrote its final sentence. Leon's men erased the rest of the paragraph. Minho fell, a bright suit collapsing into a smaller truth. Sirens arriving were late, loud, necessary. The whole story, finally. Dawn loosened the sky. Rain retired to gutters. Everybody looked older. In the study, the lagoon reopening to light, Sarah told it all. "Your mother sent me away," she said. "She promised to erase me and our child. I believed her. I believed she could break me and bury us both. So I ran." Leon stared at the steel desk where he did arithmetic for ships and men. He thought of all the nights he hated a ghost who never wrote back. He thought of a mother he loved whose love had a cost measured in other people's lives. "You had no choice," he said, voice splintering where forgiveness and fury shook hands. "I wish you had told me. But you were right to survive." Tara patted in, hair a crown of sleep. "Are we a real family now?" she asked the room. Leon crouched as if the question had weight. "Yes," he answered, discovering that one syllable can rebuild a house. They buried the old sins properly. Leon at a grave with no pearls. Sarah with a letter that said the things she hadn't allowed her tongue. The city continued, indifferent and forgiving in the way cities are. What protection really costs. Months later. Mainland. Small opening under a mango tree. No chandeliers, better light. A new sign hung over a simple doorway. The Tara House. Shelter, legal aid, night school, funded by quiet money, run by noisy kindness, built for women who are told to leave or die. Sarah ran the kitchen and the books. She taught girls how to measure flour and their worth. Leon handled the shadows, sent bodyguards where laws slept, and learned to put down his gun when bedtime stories started. At home, Pancake still misbehaved. Tara kept score. "Mommy, Daddy's flip is 3 out of 10, she announced. But his maps are 10 of 10. They agreed to disagree. On a rainy anniversary, the three of them stood at the marina where a different rain had once ended a life. No threat in the air now, just the soft applause of water. Leon took Sarah's hand. "In this city," the narrator in all of us said, "love without power is fragile. Power without love is monstrous. What saves us is choosing protection that does not require someone else's disappearance." Outro. The moral. When a door is slammed in your face by a richer hand, survival may look like running. Sometimes running is courage with a different name. Sometimes a child returns carrying the truth no adult was brave enough to hold. The lesson is older than the lagoon. Power must be taught mercy, and love must be taught timing. And when timing finally keeps its promise, build a house for those still waiting in the rain. Credits and notes for production. Era palette. West Africa, late 70s to mid-80s. Humid nights. Generator glow, chrome and velvet mansions vers warm. Crowded kitchens. Sound DNA. Fela-era horns under rain. Tape hiss radio, distant sirens, soft pigeon murmurs. Visual DNA. Low-key interiors. Amber practicals. Wet streets reflecting neon. Handheld close-ups on hands, envelope. Pistol pancake spatula. Wide lagoon horizons.